stops Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
And Celtics, we were talking about this at the start of the show. Joe Mazzulla's, I think, was doing some kind of load management thing at the end of that game. I love P. Pritch, you know that. But he was in there for that entire fourth quarter. And you got Drew Holiday on the bench. And so I don't know if you have any concern about the Celtics when it comes to playing the current number one team in the West and not winning that basketball game where you are at the season right now.
No, because I think Jalen just had a bad game, and you're not going to see him play like that all the time. And you're able to put yourself right in a position to win that basketball game. I feel like when you start to look and you see these 15, 18, 20-point leads, teams just get lazy and they don't want to play defense, but then when they start to turn it up, because then you see them flip it and they went on, a crazy run and get right back in the game.
Well, that probably is why. I mean, I think Pritchard was in there for his defense. They were down 18 with 8 minutes left or whatever.
But I also think they may feel like, and I don't know, this is my opinion, but I think they feel like Pritchard is a better three-point shooter than Drew Holiday. So when you're down by that and, that much to get back in the game, you need to be able to knock down something. I think he had a couple threes, so maybe that might be part of it. I know he definitely hurts you on the other end. The defensive side, he doesn't give you what Drew Holiday gives you. But maybe that they look at it in that situation.
Greg State was having problems on the other end.
I'd also rather see them, deal with the struggles now against a top team like that, because now Mazzulla can look at it, see what they can do better, move on from there. Like, I have no issue with them losing games here and there throughout the season. I'd rather not see what we saw from the Bruins last season, where they're beating everybody easily and then going into the playoffs and not having any answers for anyone. So,
but I want to see, and that's the thing it's kind of like the regular season. It is what it is. It's sometimes when they do struggle more, then maybe there's more pressure from front office to maybe say, okay, what can we do differently to fix this team and maybe add pieces or see what you need to do. Whereas when you're playing so good.
You always say this. Who do you want them to
No,
add?
I don't think that they.
I don't think they need to add any
No,
pieces.
I don't think that they.
They could be the only team to ever have five All-Stars.
Yeah, I don't think that they need to, Greg, but I'm just saying when you struggle, you kind of see like maybe where some of your problem areas are. Right? Because when you think of this team, where's a problem area for them? I can't think of any.
My only concern, and it's not a big one, is that it feels like on certain nights they wait to be down 15 before playing their best.
Right.
And in the playoffs, that's more difficult because odds are the teams you're playing will be more talented and more desperate.
And they'll play defense.
But my question is that, like, last night's a good example because Jason Tatum didn't come in until like that 8-minute mark in the fourth quarter. So is that a load management thing?
I think Mazzulla kind of usually gives him that rest to start the fourth quarter. The one thing I will say, and Curtis kind of brings this up a little bit, when you have those times where you get down and we're trying to look for what potentially could be problems with a team that doesn't have many problems, that to me, that lack of kind of laziness falls on the coach. Because I think skill-wise, you've talked about their starting five and, Al Horford and Pritchard coming off the bench, pretty good. But when you look and you go, okay, well, why do they get down? Why do they have to come back from those leads? Is that's a defensive effort thing? Maybe that plays into the coach's role of them not taking their foot off the gas.
I love this in the Twitch chat. You can watch this show on Twitch. Just go to Twitch and follow WEEI. 5 All-Stars, Greg? I count 4. No.
God.
I think you argue that D. White should absolutely be.
He's playing like an all-star.
Coach's pick.
Yeah, he's playing like an all-star.
So, 5, maybe. First time ever. Yeah. Sorry. That's my.
Who's your fifth?
Yeah.
Who's your fifth? Drew Holiday?
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing like an all-star.
Can we play
I would say
Smash Mouth All-Star rejoin request?
Yes.
I definitely give you D.
love
White.
Smash Mouth.
I saw them live. Santo was there.
Like recently?
No, the last time I mentioned this, Courtney, about 1999 All-Star game, Smash Mouth played before the Home Run Derby.
Oh,
and you were
okay.
like, "Oh, Santo was there."
Oh yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I have a memory. Don't.
That was the Teddy Ball game, right? And that was McGuire and Sosa Home Run Derby.
You got it.
Griffey was in that one too, wasn't he?
Yep. Pete Rose was there. He had the under.
This is Dave from Natick. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody.
You too, Dave.
I'm not in a boat to say that this Celtics team is an all-time team, but they're on pace to have the 25th most wins in NBA history. So taking one game at a time, I wouldn't read too much into it. What I'm encouraged by is that it's not a load management issue, but something that the Spurs used to do effectively is that when they would sit Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, or Ginobili, Popovich was kind of like the Belichick of the NBA, where he's like, I'm not going to give you a charismatic answer. Here's what it is. Take it or leave it. I don't care. But what he would say was that the other players on the team need to figure out how to win a game. And I see that this year. I didn't see that the last couple of years when it all came down to, can Jason Tatum score 8 points down the stretch? Can Jaylen Brown go off for 15 in the third quarter? I think they're trying something different that's going to make them a lot more effective in the playoffs than years past.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like you see, I was really happy with Joe Mazzulla last night because his issue last season when it came to his weird fascination with not calling timeouts, like I thought he used his timeout at the end of that game the right way. Like,
yeah, he actually did.
I wanted him. They had like 12 seconds left,
right?
And I wanted him to use the timeout,
but he didn't, which was a good move.
And he didn't. And so then he had it left when, there
about
was
2.5 seconds,
2.8 left or whatever. So I feel like, but again, I'm just asking the question because that's the theoretically, if the Thunder stay the way they are, that's the team you're going to end up seeing in the finals if you get there.
Yeah, and you should get there. Like I think when we talked about the Bruins last year, I think maybe it was a little bit different. Because going into the season, I don't think anybody goes, oh, the Bruins are going to be the hands down the best team in the NHL, and they should be in the Stanley Cup Finals. Then they played and they had the run, and they played well, and you're like, oh, then the expectations throughout the season started to change. With this team here, I looked at them going into the season where you should be in the NBA Finals, especially when you added Porzingis. Looking at this basketball team, the expectations is finals or bust. And if you don't get to the finals, then we're asking the questions, well, why didn't you get there? What was the issue? Was it the coach? Did Tatum not show up? Was Jaylen Brown not there? Like, what was
it a sitcom?